Welcome to this, your daily 180 Bible study. Thank you for participating. This week, we've taken the children's song, Be Careful of Eyes, What You See, Ears, What You Hear, Mouth, What You Say, Hands, What You Do, Feet, Where You Go, and we've kind of turned it around to put a positive spin on it. Not that the other's bad, it's good. But we also need to realize there are certain proactive things we need to be engaged in. Be careful of eyes that you see the right things. Be careful of ears that you hear those who have broken hearts. Be careful of mouth that you say the right things like I love you and I'm sorry and I believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. Be careful little hands that you do, that you're involved in productive work to the glory and honor of God. And incidentally, if you're out driving a truck or working in a grocery store or you're a lawyer or a doctor and you're doing it in an honorable way, you're doing that to the glory and honor of God. Today we're going to wrap it up with be careful little feet that you go. Isn't that interesting? There are certain places where we must go. In Matthew chapter 5, verse number 24, Jesus says there that if you bring your gift to the altar and you realize that you have aught against a brother, something's not right with your brother, then you go first and be reconciled to your brother. You go to your brother, get that relationship right. In the book of James. So we see we need to go get things right with our brethren. But in James chapter 1, verse number 27, we're told something about pure and undefiled religion. Now notice what he says. He says, pure and undefiled religion before God and the Father is this, to visit orphans. That requires going. Our feet must go. To visit orphans and widows in their trouble and to keep oneself unspotted from the world. There are certain places where we must go if we're going to do the will of God. And then over in Matthew chapter 28, there we find the very word go. In Matthew chapter 28 and verse number 19, these are the closing words of Jesus' earthly ministry. Go therefore, make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you. You see, we have a responsibility. If you are a child of God and you know the truth, you're responsible for trying to help teach others. You can do that a lot of ways. One of the ways you can do it is by hitting that share button. One of the ways you might do it is by encouraging missionaries. One of the ways you might do it is by knocking on a neighbor's door and saying, will you study the Bible with me? Join us again next week for your Daily 180.